Call this meeting order. Pledge allegiance led by Supervisor Grigsby.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody today. First item of business, we'll do the roll call.
Mr. Conover.
Here.
Mr. Mayday.
Here.
Mr. Diamond.
Here.
Ms. Gilligan. Here. Ms. Turner. Here. Mr. Bruno.
Here.
Mr. Driscoll.
Here.
Mr. Patchy.
Here.
Mr. Butler.
Here.
Mr. Goodspeed.
Here.
Mr. Crucito.
Here.
Mr. Niles. Mr. Stroud.
Here.
Mr. Weil.
Here.
Mr. Eaton.
Here.
Mr. Strainer.
Here.
Mr. Beatty.
Here.
Mr. O'Neill. Ms. Runyon. Here. Chairman Garrity.
Here.
Form established.
Okay, first item of business, I need a motion to approve the March 20th, 2026 board meeting subject correction by the clerk. A motion by Supervisor Stringer, second by Supervisor Runyon. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next up, we're gonna have Sheriff O'Barr, who would like to give an update on the fishing investigation.
Morning, everybody. Morning. When I spoke the last few times, I explained that updates like this are very unusual, but we're at day 116 of this investigation, and I know that we are all victims. But we all have a right to have some information. Essentially, I can say to you that we've solved this crime, but we're still actively working on it. There's much more that we hope to do and hope to accomplish, but I'll give you some information, more information today. A recap of some information that I shared previously. But before I do that, I want us to let you know, the board know, that our sheriff's office needs to say thank you to many departments in this county, because what our investigators are doing, it's very challenging. We know other county employees, they're our family, we work with them on a daily basis. And they're having to ask really hard questions, and that can be tough from both sides, from the investigator and from the person who's the recipient of those questions. But our team has been treated with the utmost respect and dignity. So when you see members of the treasurer's office, members of other departments, please say thank you, because we are working together as one. When I talk today, I'm not going to mention any specific county employee names, any specific county employee titles. Really going to talk in general terms. And that is because our intent's not to embarrass anybody. Clearly, some of the things that were happened were mistakes, and for the people who are involved, they are embarrassing. But I'm going to talk about departments, about instances, provide facts and findings, simply that. So we all know on December 23rd, we received a report of potential fraud involving the Warren County Treasurer's Office. Since then, our team has been actively working with the New York State Police Forensic Investigation Unit, United States Secret Service, New York State Comptroller's Office, and other law enforcement partners. They've been doing exceptional work. And like I said, we've got it solved. We're still heading in the right direction, but not as fast as we'd like. Between December 10th and December 18th, an unknown male with a thick foreign accent called several departments in Warren County. 9 of these calls were made to the Warren County Treasurer's Office, and the duration of those calls ranged between 1 to 8 minutes. On November 12th, the male spoke with a Treasurer's Office employee, and that conversation lasted for about 7 minutes. During this call, pertinent information about Peckham Industries was inadvertently shared with this gentleman. Later on the 13th, the male called back and identified himself as a representative of Peckham Industries. Using the information that was previously disclosed to gain trust, he requested to set up an ACH transfer account with Warren County, and was directed to go to the Warren County webpage. There's a form to make that request and submission. At that time, again, I want to reiterate that the county, the treasurer's office, did not have any policies or procedures in place to conduct these electronic wire related transfers. So it's really challenging If we have employees that aren't provided training, they're not provided policies and procedures, it's putting our team at a disadvantage right from the get-go. On November 13th, later, the form was submitted by a gentleman having the name of Rafael Diaz with a 347 area code phone number and a Discover bank account. When that was received, there were no security steps taken, no measures taken to verify the validity of this caller or this information or the request for this account. And the ACH account was established for Peckham Industries based upon the information that was submitted. On December 12th, there was an ACH payment made in the amount of $2,132,480.23. Was processed from our local Aero Bank to this Discover bank account. Aero Bank contacted the Treasurer's office because there was an established $1 million cap for any transaction. And this clearly exceeded the $1 million cap. And the request was made for a temporary increase in that cap. And if you recall, when I spoke last time, there's been a lot of conversation about an email notification that went out from Peckham Industries to various municipalities, warning municipalities about potential for fraud. I shared that this really was irrelevant and essentially it was white noise. And here's why. Aero Bank, our local bank, they have security systems, mechanisms in place, as you would expect a financial institution would, to detect fraud. When this transaction reached the bank, their systems detected it as a fraudulent transaction. A representative from Aero Bank called the Warren County Treasurer's office, advised the Treasurer's office that this appeared to be a fraudulent transaction, and the request was made to process the transaction. It was approved. So when I say to you that July email was really irrelevant, I don't think you need an email when your own bank is calling you and telling you this looks fraudulent. And again, following that, we have no reason to believe, no proof. We found nothing to indicate that the Treasurer's office did anything following that phone call to verify the transaction. I don't share this again. I'm not looking to lay any blame, to make anybody feel bad, to embarrass anybody. I really share this with you and the public to let you know that this was not a sophisticated scheme. There are no concerns that our county is going to be attacked. It was an error. Simple as that. An error was made. On December 23rd, another ACH payment was made in the amount of $1,225,954.65. Again, processed from our local Aero Bank to this Discover bank account. Again, this was detected as a fraudulent transaction by the Aero Bank systems and mechanisms. Again, a phone call was made from Aero Bank to the Warren County Treasurer's office, advising that this appears to be fraudulent, and the Treasurer's office said, go ahead, process the transaction. This later in that day, Peckham Industries contacted DPW because they're expecting payments in the amount of $3 million, and they had not received payment for their invoices. This prompted a flurry of phone calls between DPW, the Treasurer's office, Peckham Industries, and it was early on the 23rd that it was learned that the county was likely the victim of fraud. Later in that afternoon, on the 23rd, I received a call from Chairman Garrity advising of the fraud and requesting our potential for interview or for investigation. I said, absolutely. Not only can we, but we want to spearhead. We want to be at the forefront of this investigation. And that's when we started. And as I state, every minute counts. But this one, for the first transaction, we were already 11 days behind. So to say to you that I can share information that we've identified all but about $48,000 of this money is a miracle. Because going 11 days with this type of crime, that's unheard of. On January 2nd, we know that the $1.2 million was returned to Warren County. That was frozen through Discover, through Aero, through the Treasurer's office, and that made its way back. Wonderful thing. Still left us with $2.1 million to attempt to locate, freeze, and get back to our Warren County residents. And we have been working diligently ever since We wanted to identify Rafael Diaz, who we now know is not a person. There may be a Rafael Diaz, but the person who was calling that day is not Rafael Diaz. And we wanted to locate any accomplices. Who we did identify is a 70-year-old woman in another state. And I'm not withholding information from you because I'm concerned that none of you could be trusted. But if I share all this again, it could potentially be harmful to our criminal investigation. And at the end of the day, we have two focuses: a successful criminal prosecution and the return of every penny to Warren County. So we're not going to share names. We're not going to share municipalities. Again, I'm going to speak in general terms. There was a 70-year-old woman who was the recipient of $3.3 million from Warren County. And this woman was what we know in law enforcement as a mule, somebody who receives the money, illegitimate funds, and then funnels those out to other locations. Women are often recruited, men and women are often recruited as romantic schemes or for quick payment of money. We can give you $5,000 if you funnel this transaction through these accounts and send them elsewhere. This woman's been interviewed by members of a local sheriff's office, has admitted to these crimes. We have the recorded interview. We know who she is. We know where she is. We know exactly what she did. She's in another state, and at this point, our hands still remain tied as far as the prosecution goes. We still continue regularly with the U.S. Secret Service, the agent in that area, as well as the investigators and the sheriff in that local sheriff's office. I will say to you that this location, this district, the Secret Service office, it's not like what you picture on TV. It's a small office. There's one agent. There's one local agent's been on protection detail. As you know, there's a lot going on in our world overseas. So his focus right now is not on Warren County's crime sad. We are working with an assistant U.S. attorney, since this is federal, much like our prosecutor, Jason Carousel. We're working with the federal prosecutor to try to see if we can move forward with the prosecution. That would be best case scenario to have this prosecuted federally. I will say, admittedly, that there's a bit of limited interest from this office, from this AUSA, because of the dollar amount. $3.3 million to Warren County. It's huge. $3.3 million to the Secret Service and a federal prosecutor is really not a big deal. Not judging them, but it's just fact. We all have a caseload, and this is something that it's small potatoes for them. Currently, this female attorney is working through a process to determine culpability of the 70-year-old woman. And basically all that is blameworthiness. Is this person, do they understand that they did something wrong? Did they do it intentionally? Can they be held accountable in a criminal court? We're waiting for that. And that's going to, I'm sure, going to take some time. When it comes to criminal culpability, I am very pleased to say that, again, through our hard questions, there is no member of our treasurer's office or member of Warren County we have any concern has any criminal culpability in this crime. Nothing whatsoever. We've worked very hard to make that determination. Potentially could learn something down the fact, but I don't see that coming. But those are the hard questions. If I'm asking you if you had any involvement, you're going to be offended by that. But we got to ask those questions, and we're confident to know that no one's involved. People have asked me about a New York State penal law charge for official misconduct, and it sounds reasonable. You know, official misconduct. Somebody does something, a public servant does something wrong, $3.3 million. It sounds reasonable. But under the law, a public servant would be guilty of such an offense if, acting in their official capacities, they do something that is not authorized, and they do something that's not authorized with the intent for personal gain, personal benefit. And we know that maybe members were not authorized to do certain things, but there's no one in the treasurer's office, no one in Warren County that had any intent on gaining personal benefits. $3.3 million loss. When it comes to authorization, we have also learned through our investigation that there was a meeting held in October, a meeting of county leadership. And the purpose of that meeting, it was a subcommittee to draft and develop, create, implement, have approved county policy for wire transfers, electronic transfers, ACH transfers, because the county did not have one. In this meeting that included key members of our treasurer's office,
not alone. I'm not just this emotional veterinarian, although I am. This is really something I'm passionate about. This is about a community behind me. We have over 5,000 current signatures growing day by day. This is now a crusade. This is something that is right. We know that this works. We see it in our neighboring county, Saratoga, where they have a beautiful municipal animal shelter, which is supported by a 501c3 organization. That is exactly the template that we are putting before the board as a request. Please, we would like the time, we would like the acknowledgement, we would like this to go before the county attorneys, that we can see this be something that's brought before the residents. We would like this to be a ballot. We would like to know that the residents have a choice. We as taxpayers deserve what our money goes to, that we have resources that are allocated, that you have somewhere to turn. We all, at the end of the day, work our butts off for every dime that we have. I'm now funding many of Warren and Washington County's animal abuse cases, coming directly out of my family's pocket. That is not appropriate. Nonprofits are being tapped into, and they cannot do it alone. They should not do it alone. That is not the role of a nonprofit organization. We will work alongside nonprofit organizations. They are behind me. They are coming to the forefront and saying, we want this to succeed. We want to support them. We will support the law enforcement agents. They need our training. They need support. Most recently, I dealt with a very awful case that put me in jeopardy, my staff in jeopardy. It was a dangerous situation. I aided Warren County sheriffs with a dog that was owned by a drug addict. This lady has been arrested 11 times within 3 years. She's not a law-abiding citizen. She's not a good citizen. She ran from another county in New York State where she had abused a dog, left it for 4 months on its own, where it had nobody to care for it. Probably a toilet bowl open saved it. She had cats in there and ferrets in there. When people finally realized that these animals were left behind, there was nothing left of the cats and the ferrets. They were eaten. So I had to deal with this woman whose dog was hit by a car. I stepped in for the sheriff's department and I took care of this dog. Her nose was completely ripped off.
Doctor, could you wrap this up so we can?
I will wrap it up, but I think that,
Your,
I think the residents need to know.
Budget proposal, so we can take it to the committee.
Okay, but I would like to get before you guys.
You have a 3 minute.
The crux of this is that I was in jeopardy. I was threatened by on social media by this drug addict. I was threatened and my staff was threatened. Other organizations were threatened that aided this dog. I took and still am taking care of that dog and did a massive surgery on that dog. And that was all on behalf of Warren County. I'm not going to see anything back from that. And that's not appropriate. That dog should have been brought to a shelter. Let's get one more fact out here. Taxpayers are paying for a county-funded organization, the SPCA. This dog was supposed to go there. They were turned away. I've had numerous cases turned away from the tax-paid Warren County's SPCA. They're not there to deal with animals from domestic violence, animals from DSS, animals that the owner is being incarcerated. He's a sex offender. That dog, Khaleesi, has remained under my care. These are cases that the taxpayers have a right to know about. These are cases that people need to know. When you turn to your county-funded SPCA and they can get back to you in 48 hours, is that sufficient? It's not. Animals need to be dealt with in the heat of the moment, those cases, we need to have a support right then and there. That dog that was hit by a car that I had to do surgery on, that dog needed the help then and there. She was not aided by the SPCA. We are spending in this county well over $300,000 for a county-funded organization that is not doing anything to aid the main crux of the problem here, from cats at North Shore. They're working tirelessly on feral cat populations, cats that are abandoned. We have FACT organization doing trap and release programs on their own dime. When is the county going to realize that this budget proposal is sound? It will cost the bonded structure of this for Warren County roughly $40,000 to $65,000 annually. You're currently paying taxpayers well over $300,000, and you will not get the aid that you need. Should your house burn down and you have a puppy and you don't know where to bring it, you will be going in some circuitous fashion trying to find a home for that puppy. That is not appropriate. Let's do what is fiscally right and what is morally right. We as human beings have to take care of the vulnerable. And that is what a municipal bi-county shelter will in fact do. We will take care of the vulnerable. We will help support the residents when they have nowhere else to turn. Thank you.
Morning. Deb Oligny, North Shore Animal League America, 115 Maple Street, Glens Falls. Our organization has been in Warren County for 10 years. During that time, we have helped over 8,000 felines in dire need from many terrible situations. This is an amazing feat accomplished by a dedicated group of staff and volunteers who care deeply about these animals that are dependent on us to do the right thing. 8,000 felines is huge, but it is only a drop in the bucket of animals that need our help. North Shore Animal League America is a nonprofit, no-kill rescue. We are not animal control, not law enforcement, and certainly not a municipal shelter. We do what we can, but there is a great need for a municipal animal welfare infrastructure in Warren and Washington counties. A need for an animal shelter to house animals so law enforcement can do their jobs to hold people accountable for actions that cause the suffering of these animals. So the public do not feel the need to just open the door and let domesticated companion animals out to fend for themselves. This is a real and ongoing huge issue. There are even incidences that we are aware of firsthand where law enforcement have done the same. Let animals out to fend for themselves following an eviction. Despite the No Pet Left Behind law, which states that officers must determine if animals are involved prior to issuing an eviction warrant, then provide shelter for them if left behind. Why do some feel compelled to do this? Because there is no shelter for the animals to go. Since I only have a short time to speak, I'm going to highlight an incident that occurred in Queensbury in May 2023. The town of Queensbury called us to ask for help for a situation involving many cats. We offered to meet them at the trailer park to assess the situation. Code enforcement and town representatives did not want to enter the home due to the offensive odor emanating from the small trailer. We put on our face masks, gloves, and booties and entered the home to find, as expected, a horrific scene of filth and neglect. 106 cats in a small trailer, no litter boxes because the owner could not afford the litter. 4 adult cats stuffed in the same crate together, left to sit in their urine and feces. Long story short, it took our organization 52 days and $40,000 to help every single cat from that trailer. We began immediately to attempt to ease the suffering as much as possible throughout those 52 days, while space gradually became available for each cat. We did this by providing needed supplies like litter and litter boxes, larger crates to separate the animals to individual crates, toys for enrichment opportunities, etc. We were finally able to get each cat out, provide veterinary medical care, spay and neuter, lots of TLC, which they had been severely lacking. We had zero help from the town of Queensbury, either physically or monetarily. When told by town representatives there was no funding available for a situation like this, we then asked them instead to help by doing a donation drive to collect needed food, litter, other supplies to help out. They did nothing. Shortly after the situation was resolved, I reached out to the supervisor's office to discuss ideas of how we could better work together in the future. This burden should not have been left entirely to us. The supervisors refused to meet. His secretary called to let us know he had no interest in speaking to us about the cats. This is not acceptable. Here's what should have happened. It should have been a collaborative effort by the town, law enforcement, and a municipal shelter, and of course, our organization if needed, to remove those cats from that situation immediately to prevent continued suffering. Even better, the situation could have been prevented had funding been available for local low-cost spay and neuter programs, other than the ones that we are able to provide. The owners in this case and many other similar cases meant well and had taken in just a few cats in need, in this case, 9 cats, but unfortunately could not afford to spay or neuter them, leading to the 106 cats in a few years' time. The bottom line is a humane, collaborative municipal plan must be set in place to help more animals in our community. It will be a process, but the sooner we get started, the sooner it will come to fruition. What a wonderful day that will be.
Morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Lisa Potowitz. I am an experienced boots on the ground shelter and GP veterinarian. I am here in support of either Warren County Municipal Shelter or Warren and Washington County Municipal Shelter. Since I graduated from Cornell Vet School in 1988, I have either worked in, observed, or evaluated about 15 animal organizations, including both private nonprofit and also municipal shelter organizations. I am an Albany resident, and I currently split my time between a private nonprofit with local law enforcement, that's Mohawk Hudson Humane, which also has a very active law enforcement division that works with Albany County. And I also split my time in an enormous municipal shelter in Palm Beach County, Florida, which does have great resources. I just wanted to simplify 3 quick statements. This will not be a 3-minute talk. I am more here as an experienced testimony veterinarian. New York State Ag and Markets, it's Article 26, if anybody's interested, codifies what is considered animal abuse and neglect. When local law enforcement, like in Warren and Washington County, identifies a case of neglect or abuse, and again, this is very clear in Ag and Markets, Article 26, if they have no place to bring these animals to, if they do not have adequate evaluation of animals and their abuse or neglect, then in essence, you're continuing on with a process that has already started, that is codified in New York State Ag and Markets 26. With all the organizations that I've worked for, there truly is no one-size municipal shelter that fits all. I know Dr. Herring, who I've worked with, we have worked together since we both graduated over 30 years ago in various other hospitals. I know she has a budget that she will bring forth to you guys, but what I will say with my experience is whether it's a municipal shelter or whether it's a nonprofit, you can start very small. You can start small and you can build up as your resources, as your staff, as your technical expertise grows. So it doesn't have to be an enormous thing. You can start very small with this and bridge on and go greater. I do have with me The codified, again, this is Palm Beach County Animal Care and Control where I work. Now, again, this is a very different situation than you. But everything starts as codified into law and codified into ordinance. Now, just be aware, Palm Beach County's been working on this for over 50 years. But I do have the list of ordinances of where they start from everything. And then once they start, they bridge on and they keep on building with more codified. And if you want, I'm willing to share that with you. I just printed it all from the computer. The last thing that I wanted to say is, like Dr. Herring, I am very passionate about this. I mean, you know, people will say, well, animals are animals, they will fend for themselves. But all of us who have pets know that, you know, they can't fend for themselves, and animal abuse should not continue on. So I, like Dr. Herring, do believe that there is somewhat of a moral obligation, at least to help these guys. Lastly, I will share with you guys, although I spend my predominant amount of time in Palm Beach County, we all have internet, we all have Zoom. I have advised on other organizations before, and I'm more than willing to help you guys out if you want to start this as an advisory board. I'm here, I go back and forth between Palm Beach County and the Capital District, and I'd be more than willing to help anybody. Anybody who's interested, I will help. I will help Dr. Herring. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
If it's possible, because I know you need to see the other people. Great, yes, my name is Amory McCarthy. I live at 9 Warner Street, Glens Falls. And what I have to pass around to you is my dot. She came from a county shelter in Texas. She was told by the person who brought her in that she was a stray. If you knew Dottie, I know some people here do, there's no way she could survive on her own. It could have been someone just picked her up that day, so either she was dumped or the owner brought her in and just called her a stray. She had a broken hip in 6 places. It was left to heal on its own, so she never got the medical treatment she needed. She was not using that leg. She was taken care of. She was given the help she needed. She was put on Pet Finder, where I saw her and said, she's mine. At that point, they did an amputation on that leg. She has now been with me for 2 years. She, back in the day, was scared of the dark and scared of a leaf. Now she tells me when the brown bear has entered our neighborhood. She keeps track of all the neighborhood children and also puts their pets in order when they misbehave in front of the children, because that's not going to happen on her watch. She came from a county shelter. When I found out we didn't have anything for 2 very large counties, it broke my heart that I had to go to Texas. The close counties we have is Saratoga, Albany, and some places south. I would feel it would be appropriate for us to have here. I worked for the Department of Corrections as a teacher for 27 years. I got to work with the people who abuse their animals and were incarcerated for it. But when I find out that some abuse cases, because of the legal issues, they don't remove the animal from that situation because I have no place to take them. If they took them someplace, they can evaluate the health, and that would help the prosecution. It's adding to the abuse, leaving the animals in an abusive situation. We need to be able to take them out of there, give them the care they need, assess what care was needed, and prosecute people who are doing this. So it can stop happening and not becoming more and more prevalent, as we're seeing in the news every single day. I thank you for your time.
Anyone else wish to address? Sure.
My name's Tim Leonard. I live at 62 Overlook Drive in Glens Falls, New York. Just a general statement, you know. In an increasingly cruel world, where do we want to be? Right? Take a look around, see what's going on in the world around us. Do we want to be part of that cruelty crowd? Or do we want to be on the right side and give compassion, generosity, and just love to the elements of society that can't fend for themselves, which are, you know, the elderly, the sick, the young, and our animals. the most inane statement I've heard is that dogs and cats can take care of themselves. And I find that absolutely preposterous. If you're a farmer and you're selling eggs, you gotta take care of your chickens. If you're selling wool, you gotta take care of your sheep, cows, you know, you gotta milk them. There is no animal out there that we domesticated that can take care of itself. It's like saying a 2-year-old now, saying, good luck, son. You can take care of yourself. Insane. Insane. Why am I passionate? I rolled into Kuwait City. They shot the animals in the zoo. That's cruel. Do we want to be part of those people? Or part of a society and culture that takes care of what we need? Right? That's all I have to say. So it's not hard to say. Right? And it has nothing to do with money. Nothing. Zero. It's this. Right here. So.
Anybody else? On any subjects?
Good morning. My name is Molly Monkowitz. I'm a resident of Sperry, Glenstone, Pine Lane. Thank you for everybody being here today, and thank you for Dr. Herring, all the other people that have showed up, all the nonprofits, just people that realize that we have a problem. I am a resident of Warren County, obviously, but I watch the news, and I'm sure you're all familiar with the massive amount of abuse and neglect that have gone on in these two counties, and to turn a blind eye to that, it's wrong. It's just wrong, and we can't do it. And on paper, it looks as though Warren County is fulfilling their legalities of having a shelter, but in reality, it's not fulfilling the needs that are happening in the county. I came today to speak on something different, but this morning I read the Chronicle. I don't know if you had a chance to read it yet. But what struck me as was a response. I'm sure you'll all read it. It's the Upstate SPCA Executive Director Kathy Cloutier said that people say a county shelter is a great idea, but it is a great idea without having background information on the use of a shelter and who is going to use it. What are your restrictions? How big does it have to be? What are your hours? The first thing that jumped out at me is like having a shelter is not something new. There's so many shelters around the country, around New York State. Like, to me, that jumped out, like, just hit me like unbelievable. So it's not a new idea. Even our surrounding counties like Saratoga County right next door has a wonderful shelter. The question being asked, who would use it? What services would it provide, and what hours would be? How large would it be? Are exactly the questions that are answered during the planning process for every county shelter. That is not a reason to dismiss the idea. It is a reason to begin a conversation. For years, Warren and Washington counties have relied on a patchwork system of residents, police, rescues, veterinarians, social media, volunteers, trying to fill the gaps when there's nowhere for animals to go. We already know there is a need. We have seen injured animals, strays, the cruelty, lost pets with no clear protocol and nowhere to bring them. This is not a radical or untested idea. It is a public safety and animal welfare need whose time has come. talk about money. I know everything comes down to money. I guess I'm just gonna put this question to the board, that there are grants that come out every year that can be applied for. Just give me a moment here. You know what the ones are, yeah, the capital campaign every year. Yeah, through Governor Hochul, every year comes out and counties can apply for up to $500,000. I have a list of counties that have applied and have received them. Warren and Washington County never even applied. Now, these can be used to build new shelters, put new kennels in, update HVAC. I mean, it's a start, but not to apply when the money is there. That shows me really a lack of, like, we don't want to know. You know, if we don't see it, we don't have to know about it. So I think the group here, I think, are the people that are in support of this, we want you to realize that there is a problem, and there are solutions. And we hope to work together to start conversations and move forward. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. What else?
Letter I sent last year. This looks like a letter to the Warren County Sheriff's Office. It says, Dear Jim LaFar, I was at the Crandall Public Library yesterday because I could not get on the internet from using my home computer. I've tried to call your office several times, and of course you are well aware of I have gone to Lake George to try and make an appointment with you again to discuss what Donald Trump has been doing to me. Told me you would help me. Officer O'Brien told me you would help me. Was the first officer I have ever encountered, and now Donald Trump is terrorizing me. I was there at the store Target with a protest sign when Officer O'Brien showed up many years ago. There are drones outside my home. There are hidden cameras in my home. And I have told you before that I am being monitored, which is illegal, and my civil rights are being taken away from me. I'm sorry to bug you into this, or sorry to bring you into this. And I know this is not your normal circumstances, but you have to know that this has gone so far from being normal. It's unprecedented, and I would usually write after that, but there's nowhere near fun. I have been put on social media naked, toothless, and be sick. I've gone as far as to put a camera in my toilet. How sick is that? I've already told you I am being followed by Trumpies who use one headlight to let me know I'm being watched. This is something I cannot ignore because Donald Trump has infiltrated every aspect of my life. Both my fathers were police officers, and if either one of them were alive today, would be so upset with what is being allowed to be done to me by Donald Trump. Which, by the way, for the 4 years that he was not president, was doing this spying on me also between 2020 and 2024, and I have believed since 2018. I hope to hear from you to discuss my next options are because no American like myself deserves to be treated this way because of politics.
Look at this, sure.
I sent the right now.
Thank you.
Let me know. To blow you up. Some of you guys have blown me off. I don't know what else to do. Voltages.
Anyone else wish to address the board? A couple more speakers.
Morning. My name is Jacqueline Lutz. I reside at 400 Beaver. I believe some of you received letters from me a couple weeks ago regarding the situation with animals in this county. First, I'm just going to mention a couple recent situations I've dealt with. The first is my former boss at Cumberland Farms at Exit 18 contacted me back in February regarding the dog that Dr. Herring had mentioned. The girl and her dog had been dropped off by sheriffs in the middle of the night. It was a domestic violence situation. Sheriffs were called repeatedly to come back and forth. They appeared 3 times, told her there's nothing they can do. Eventually the dog got hit by a car. So that poses a public safety issue. That dog could have caused a serious collision. I also have a situation currently going on in my neighborhood. The neighbors across the street from me have 2 very large dogs that are continuously running the neighborhood. Dogs have already bit one of my neighbors, destroyed his screen door, left bloody paw prints on the porch. He's called the sheriffs 3 times, dog control, whatever that consists of in this area. Everyone shows up, says we can't do anything. And incidentally, nobody ever mentions call the SPCA, right? So I Googled Queensbury Animal Control and it says it's permanently closed. And it says contact the SPCA for all this stuff. Well, nobody seems to be able to get a hold of the SPCA. My parents have been homeowners and taxpayers in Queensbury for 33 years. My mother has rescued dozens of cats over the years. I've taken 2 of those cats back to New Jersey with me previous to moving up here because there was nowhere she had to take these cats. After she passed away 2 years ago, I took over taking care of her home and 7 cats that she had. That's how I became involved in this. And I was totally unaware of this situation. That I think is a problem too. So many people are unaware how bad it is. Like we just assume because there's a sign that says in the SPCA that services are actually being rendered. In my humble opinion, and this is only my opinion, it's a money laundering operation because they're rendering minimal services to say that they're doing something to justify collecting $250,000 from taxpayers. I understand money is an issue everywhere. Where is it not an issue, right? So maybe start with, maybe we can look at what's being done with this money that's being funneled by Warren County, Queensbury, and Glens Falls to this SPCA. And as I said, this public safety. So these dogs continue to run the neighborhood. I've also had a conversation with 2 officers who have come to my door regarding the neighbors. And I've mentioned these dogs, like nobody can do anything about these dogs. So we have to put up with this. So now I can't let my cat out the front door now because I have to worry about her getting attacked by the dog. I have to worry that I'm going to get bit by a dog. I have to worry about neighbor, visitors, delivery people. You know, I don't know what kind of liability that could fall back on our family who outright owns our home because the neighbor across the street doesn't have anything, rents, you know, and there's I think it's called vicarious liability. Someone's going to get sued. So I also have to worry about future liabilities. These dogs have already attacked people and we're being told nothing can be done. And, you know, if for nothing at all, for the sake of public safety and the animal welfare, you know, I hear, I'm told that, well, people don't care. I don't like cats. I don't care if you don't like cats or animals. They don't deserve to suffer. You know, there's a lot of humans I don't like. I don't think they deserve to suffer either. So that's irrelevant. And well, thank you for your time.
Anybody else? On this subject, on the dogs or cats?
Yes.
That's it.
Hello, my name is Linda Clark and I live here in Warren County. I attended a committee meeting not too long ago and listened to Dr. Herring talk about the problems with the animals. And in turn, I foiled the Warren County contracts and the Queensbury contracts. And in reading over those contracts, these services are supposed to be provided. In fact, Warren County signed a contract on October 3rd of 2025 with the contractor address as being 588 Queensbury Avenue, which is the SPCA location, which is what I thought was the SPCA location. I say that because I've since found out that it no longer exists. So we pay $8,000 plus additional charges. That's Warren County. That's not Queensbury. Queensbury pays more to the SPCA and we're not getting any services. What's going on? And my question to you today is, where's the SPCA today? Where are they? How come they're not here? How come they're not being held accountable for the services they're supposed to be providing? Thank you.
Anyone else?
My name is Debbie Posson, Glens Falls. I'm here. I've had personal experience with a lot of these issues that are going on here. And I will say that service is being provided. I have seen it. I have called the sheriff department, the local Glens Falls Police Department, and they have showed up for dogs that are running loose. And I'm the owners that do talk to them about it. And also the SPCA that did have before was all by donations. When we had COVID, everybody, wanted to have an animal. They were brought in. Once COVID was over, you can socialize with people. They were abandoned and they were brought back there. I was part of that as a volunteer. We could not even get volunteers. You want an animal shelter now. You can't just have an animal shelter. You've got to support it. Not just financially, but you have to put in some kind of work in it. Kathy has done everything. The sheriff's department has done everything. I have seen it myself. It's 24/7. They have keys where if they have a problem with an animal, they will bring it there because they can do it. I just want to say that everybody needs to open their eyes to what we had and we gave up. Thank you.
Anyone else? On any other topic? Okay, we'll close the public comment and I thank you all for participating. We'll go to report by committees, chairs. I'll start with my report. On March 20th, I attended Board of Supervisors meeting. On the 23rd, I attended committee meetings, criminal justice, health services, human services, tourism, and occupancy tax. On the 24th, I attended committee meetings, higher education, county facilities, public works, parks operation, real property tax and environmental concerns, economic growth and development. On the 25th, I attended an APA local government meeting was held in Washburn. On the 26th, I attended department head meeting here at the county. On the 27th, I met with the Saga City Japanese delegation here in our meeting room along with DA Jerison, Harrison. We had a good time with the kids. They really like Dodger baseball, just in case you didn't know. They're all fans of the Dodger baseball. March 30th, attended a meeting with Mayor of Glens Falls, Diane Palmer, County Administrator. On the 31st, they welcomed new members of the Ethics Committee to their organizational meeting. On April 1st, I attended a retirement party for Janelle Jones, Public Health Director. On the 2nd, I attended a higher education, personnel, finance, and budget committee meetings. On the 3rd, I attended a going away party for former County Attorney Larry Ellman. On the 8th, I attended a meeting with Cash Fest personnel along with the Treasurer's Office. On the 13th, I attended a meeting with Arrow Bank. On the 14th, I attended county attorney interviews, and on the 15th, I attended a meeting with Matt Simpson, the National Grid personnel. Very, very, very informative meeting. So we will go to start with Sterling. Any report? Sterling?
No report today, sir.
Mr. Castillo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On March 23rd, occupancy tax committee met. From that, there's two resolutions in front of you. Resolution 141 to Senate Coalition to tourism promotion. where they're starting to place the pro chiller grant. That has moved, sorry, thank you. That has moved, to finance, for funding. Resolution 142. That is to extend a contract with North Warren Chamber of Commerce for the three-town bonding. Three-town, branding, I'm sorry, and, resolution 143, funding for the 2026 spending plan of $450,000. Parks and Operation met on March 24th. There was one resolution out of there to reimburse the village for replacement of the slide that was damaged. That's also in front of finance for funding. Occupancy tax will meet on April 21st on Tuesday, and Park and Operate Joint Park O&M will be on the 22nd on Wednesday. So thank you.
Is that it?
Yep. that's it.
Supervisor
Thank you.
Stroud. No committee report this month. Thank you. Supervisor Wild.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. On March 14th, Economic Growth and Development had our committee meeting. 3 resolutions, 137, 138, 139. 7 is an award grant by Environmental Conservation Organization for a Bay Road culvert. 38 is a submission for a culvert replacement on Corinth Road. And 139 is also a grant application for local comprehensive plans. That one's special because there's no match associated with it. On April 2nd, Higher Ed met one resolution, and that's urging New York State to increase funding for community college. That's my
Supervisor Etu.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Finance and Budget met on April 2nd. Resolutions 130 to 131 and 161 to 168 came from that meeting. 130 makes supplemental appropriations. 131 amends the Warren County budget for transfers within our departments. 161 reappropriates money from different departments, about 80,600 into our insurance reserve fund. 162 increases capital project H376 by $22,360 using federal grant money. 163 increases capital project 8428 Bay Road near Lockhart Mountain. And that project increases by almost $240,000. 164 increases capital project H448 Dix Avenue reconstruction by over $1.2 million. 165 authorizes $200,000 in octax. Supervisor Mercado touched on that for the Civic Center. And same with 166, the reimbursement to the Lake George Village for a slide that was damaged. 167 accepts grant funding, $535,401 to be used for Spruan River access improvements. And 168 accepting grant funding. Both of these are from New York State. This is for $300,000 for improvements to the Warren County Bikeway. We meet again next Thursday, the 30th. Thank you.
Supervisor Stringer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Health Services met on March 23rd. From that, Deanna from Office of the Aging gave us her annual report. Very comprehensive. You can see that her department is keeping very busy. There was some changes. If you've seen this report before, there were some changes in geographics and how many people in each different town are getting the services. I found that kind of interesting. Welcome Pat Belden for health. Also, on April 13th, I met with the jury board. That was a very short meeting. I believe the report is with Amanda. Kudos to Wanda Smith, our Commissioner of Jurors. She has done a really nice job of outreach, going to different schools and letting people get informed about what jury duty is actually about. She was lauded by the judges. She does a great job over there, so we're very lucky to have her. And that's it for me.
Supervisor Baker.
No committee report, but I do have a couple of comments. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had to miss my committee meetings the day of my committee meetings due to bad tooth. thank God that's all taken care of now, so I just want to let everybody know those who are concerned. I was able though to get to the next day, the Higher Education Committee meeting, our newly formed Higher Education Committee. And just a couple of comments because I've been pretty involved with that with SUNY Adirondack. I believe that this new president will be fiscally responsible, as well as the vice president of their finance department. I am though concerned that their first real act was to discontinue the hotel management major. With 94 majors at SUNY Adirondack, I found it rather disconcerting, to be honest with you, that we would eliminate a major that is our third highest employment industry, which is tourism. That was disconcerting to me. I believe that she'll be fiscally responsible, but then yet one of her first acts is to eliminate the hotel management major. That to me doesn't make sense. So I just want to get that out there. I attended the CDTA meeting on April 6th. Supervisor E2 was there, our county administrator, Mr. Taflon was there, as well as other people. We all knew, well, we didn't all, but it's a financial boondoggle that's being polite and to the point. The CDTA is hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt already. They can't support yearly services. They are good people, but this is no way in any shape or form financially advantageous to the county or to the residents. There are other options that we can give the same or better services much less expensively. And I've explored some of those. They're not real receptive. Some people aren't because, you know, hey, Doug, we're already in it. And as the former county attorney said, once you get in the CDTA, it's like the mafia. You don't get out. You can't get out. So, you know, we've got to look at this and say, are there better options financially? And can we get the same, if not better service? And I know there are. I know there are. So hopefully some of the supervisors here on this board would be somewhat open to changing a path that is financially devastating to the county. We spent 1.1 million last year. And we'll spend, as you know, it's 25 cents on the dollar or $100 of our mortgage tax goes directly to them. So if we bring in 1.4 million in mortgage tax, it goes directly to CDTA. If we only bring in 800,000 only, goes right to CDTA. They're not bad people. It's a model that won't work up here. We're 64,000 people in Warren County. That's an inner city model. It won't work. It never will be fiscally accountable or responsible. And then one final comment is the IRS this week said that New York State has lost over $1 trillion in assets due to people moving out and with their businesses. Think about that for a second. 1 trillion, over 1 trillion. And New York State has lost billions and billions from people moving out and their income. So we are in a dire situation around here, not just in Warren County, but in the state. And we can all pretend like it's not happening, you know, hey, everything's rosy. It's not rosy. I don't like being the bearer of bad news, but we need a reality check around here about spending because we don't have a revenue problem. We've got a spending problem, and we've got a major spending problem, not just a little one. And I won't accept breaking that tax cap next year. I wasn't on the board last year, the year before, but last year broke the tax cap, and I, you know, you can override me, but I'll be very vocal about that. We've got to cut back spending. And I know Mr. E2's trying to, as the budget officer. I just hope a lot of us around this room start taking this very seriously. Thank you.
Supervisor O'Neill,
I have no report at this time.
Supervisor Reagan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Personnel Committee met on April 2nd, and there are 4 resolutions resulting from that meeting. Number 157, which is amending the table of organization in Warren County Salary and Compensation Plan to create the lead positions within the Planning and Community Development Department and increase the salary within the County Attorney's Office for the Property and Casualty Risk Manager. Number 158, which is amending Resolution 380 of 2025 regarding an agreement with Ascentus Corporation for the Nova Time 5,000 program to include up to 2 database exports. Number 159, which is adopting the Warren County First Amendment Audit Protocol Policy. And number 160, adopting the Warren County Family and Medical Leave Policy. Our next meeting will be April 30th at 10 a.m.
Supervisor Connell. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Public Works met on March 24th, represented in your packet by resolutions 144 through 150. I just would like a brief comment on 144 to just take a moment. And I know everyone in this room agrees with this, how what a wonderful department head we have, Kevin Hajos. Not only in terms of running the highway department, building and grounds department, but he's been at the forefront of efforts to try to get Albany to put more money into our infrastructure. He was president of the Highway Association recently. He has been very aggressive, as you know, in the Bridge New York program and other types of federal and state programs to bring resources into this area to help us with our infrastructure. When there's an emergency, he is there. And I know I see a lot of supervisors shaking their heads. Yes, I mean, it could be 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, he's up, he's there. You make that call, he answers. And so I'm very pleased that he wants to continue as our public works director and for an additional 4 years. And that's represented in the packet by resolutions 144. The other resolutions I think are self-explanatory. I just would like to comment quickly on 150. What a wonderful organization we have, a not-for-profit that was formed to support the programming going on at Up Yonder. They do fundraising and they take their funds that they gather and they put them into helping us maintain our infrastructure and to deliver the kind of wonderful programming that we do at Up Yonder. So kudos to them and their efforts on the facility. And our next Public Works meeting will be on April 22nd, and that concludes my report. Supervisor Mayday.
The Criminal Justice and Public Safety Emergency Services Committee met, and there were 3 resolutions that come out of that. 134, 135 are appointing or reappointing members of the EMS and fire advisory boards, and 136 is an agreement between Warren County Correctional for food procurement with Department of Corrections. That concludes.
Supervisor Diamond.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No reports today.
Supervisor Gilligan.
Thank you, Chairman. Support Services met on March 23rd. There's 5 resolutions. 151 is introducing proposed local law 5 of 26 and replacing local law number 3 of 2010 and local law 2 of 2017. 152 is authorizing an agreement with Call One for installation of audio equipment in the boardroom. 153 is authorizing participation in opioid settlement agreements with the Globe pharmacies. 154 is accepting donation of personal property to the Warren County Attorney's Office and authorizing a letter of appreciation. 155 is approving revisions to the purchasing policy for Warren County. Our next meeting will be April 21st. I'm not sure of the time. That's all I have. Thank you.
Supervisor Turner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me, the Tourism Committee met on March 21st. And out of that meeting, we have one resolution, number 156. And it's amending the agreement with Grove Marketing, Inc. to purchase a subscription of data
for inclusion into the Destination Insights platform and to increase the not to exceed amount to $31,114. Our next meeting is April 21st. Thank you.
Supervisor Bruno.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. County Facilities met on March 24th. And we have two resolutions from that meeting. One is resolution 132. That's awarding the bid and authorizing Kingsley Iron Incorporated for general construction, demolition and replacement of the T hangar. This is for the general construction portion of that. And 133, awarding a bid and authorizing Harold R. Bloom Incorporated for the same project, demolition and replacement of the T hangar. And this is the electrical portion of that project. This additionally, in case you're interested, even if you're not, we discussed we've been looking at the regional board for 1 or 2 years now. And just for your information, we were looking at Albany County was going to move forward with a large regional board, but due to cost, they have scaled that back. And or if they have chosen will cover their area only. So unless there's another option available, Warren County will continue to contract Glens Falls Hospital for services. And additionally, an update on the Nexium project. If you're all not aware, that is the construction of 2 solar generating electrical field tap Warren County Airport County property out there. And so the anticipated activation for the southern site is the second quarter, which is we're now in for this year, and a third or fourth quarter for the northern site. As soon as those are activated and online, county will realize income from those two. I can't remember offhand what the total is for that. I think it's $60,000 plus per year. That's a good thing. And additionally, Mr. Hajos, Superintendent of Public Works, notified us that the county will be doing an assessment of all county-owned buildings to determine what work is required on those buildings. Many of them are well along in age, if you will. Our next meeting is Wednesday, April 22nd, 6 at 11 a.m.
Supervisor Driscoll.
Thank you, Chairman. The Human Services Committee did not meet last month, but we will this month, this coming Tuesday, April 21st at 9:10, immediately after the Criminal Justice, Public Safety, and Emergency Services meeting concludes. We'll be hearing from Social Services and the Countryside Adult Home. I just want to remind people of the important but very difficult work that Social Services does, but especially this year with federal cutbacks and changes in the funding formulas, primarily with SNAP, Medicaid, and a number of the other services. It really requires that they are reacting to those changes on a daily basis and making appropriate staff decisions and program decisions that so that residents of the county aren't impacted. The Home Energy Assistance Program ended yesterday. That's for the heating program. The cooling program, which is available for seniors and individuals with a disabled situation where cool air conditioning is required, with a doctor's note and other types of referrals from organizations. They may be eligible for an air conditioner, as well as financial support for that program. again, we'll be meeting this coming Tuesday at 9:10. Cornell Cooperative Extension will be meeting this coming Monday, the 20th at 6 p.m. In Warrensburg. John Bowe, who was here earlier, had to attend another meeting, but he dropped off the monthly program update. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Supervisor Butler.
Chairman Gerby, no report at this time. Looking forward to attending committee meetings next week. Thank you.
Report of County Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For 17 of April 2026, March 26, we had our first department head meeting. We discussed the 2027 budget and highlighted the overall budget challenge faced next year. I asked the department heads to carefully evaluate open positions before filling them this year and to try to conserve funds this year and look for creative ways to address next year's challenges. Thanks to the chairman and the budget officer for attending. As the chairman mentioned, March 30th, we met with Mayor Palmer to discuss the possibility of a shared services agreement with the Glens Falls Fire Prevention and Building Codes Office. We've had several follow-on meetings with that. We're still working out the particulars of what the cost would be on the part of the county and how that would operate, but we have that on the facilities agenda as an item for April 22nd. On April 2nd, I attended the monthly regional strategic alliance meeting hosted by the EDC. And this alliance includes ARCC, EDC, City of Glens Falls, Lake Champlain, Lake Shores Regional Planning Board, Saratoga County EDC, Warren Washington IDA, Warren and Washington County administrators. We discussed mutual initiatives that impact economic development and growth in our counties. Pretty good meetings. We had a farewell celebration April 1st and April 3rd for Janelle Jones and Larry Ellman. Thanks to the supervisors who attended and to express your appreciation. It meant a lot to them. On April 6th, Supervisor Beatty mentioned it, attended the CDTA Town Hall at Crandall. Thanks for the other supervisors who attended. Basically, CDTA, they said, showed the average ridership of about 5 to 7 riders per hour on most of their routes. Their target is 15. So we're far from that. They're not getting the ridership. It's doubtful that they'll be able to do any additional routes. And over the summer, they're probably going to be looking at the existing routes to see what modifications they can possibly make. April 8th, we met with a team from Cash Fest who's advising us on ways to increase the interest we're getting for our funds in various accounts, primarily with Aero Bank. They provided some interesting insight on our investments. We have a follow-on meeting with Aero Bank on April 13th, where we reiterated our intent to continue our 60-year relationship with Aero and discuss ways we could maximize the return on the funds we have with them. There'll be more follow-on discussions at the Support Services Committee and the Finance and Budget Committee. April 11th, I attended the 250th celebration kickoff gala at Fort William Henry. Our own John Stroud was present, as Dr. Joseph Warren, and many supervisors were in attendance. Thanks to those who participated. Particular note was a speech by Doug Bradburn, CEO of Mount Vernon. Interesting talk about George Washington and the role he played in preserving this republic. It could have easily gone in another direction. The anniversary committee has a number of interesting events planned over the summer, and I encourage everyone to attend some of them. In particular, the reinterment of 44 Revolutionary War era patriots who were found almost 7 years ago at a construction site on Cortlandt Street in Lake George. The event will take place on May 22nd in Battlefield Park at 11 a.m. Last night, I attended Mayor Diana Palmer's 100-day briefing at Heritage Hall. Thanks to the supervisors who attended. She's made some solid impacts in 100 days. As a lifelong student of leadership, I noticed that she wove call outs to each of her department heads into her speech, and I thought that was pretty cool. This month, I'm having my monthly check-ins with department heads. They all appreciate the fabulous support they're getting from you and the guidance they get from the committee chairs. They believe they have a very solid relationship with the Board of Supervisors. They're thankful for that relationship. On May 7th, I will be hosting our first conversation with the county at 12:30 at Lake Luzerne. Our first conversation with the county this year. We had 3 last year, and I look forward to doing those again. Lastly, I'd be remiss if I didn't offer some clarification to the misstatements that I heard made earlier. Okay, I told up front, I have 3 rescue dogs in my house right now. We all love animals. I told the SPCA they did not have to come and defend themselves because they're doing everything we want with the contract we have with them. They do exist. I'm not sure about their address, but I've been there roughly every quarter. We have a contract for animal abuse cases that cost us $8,000 a month. For that, we get 24/7 access to the facility where our road patrol officers can take animals after hours. The following day, if it was not an abuse case, the SPCA rehomes the animals in appropriate facilities. They provide quarterly training to our road patrol officers because it's not easy to pick up stray animals, and we want our patrol officers. A bite to a hand could ruin a career, so we have to be very careful, and they provide really great training for that. In the spring of 2025, the SPCA was informed by the court they had to collect 139 boa constrictor pipe snakes and over 900 rats. I was there when they wiped down each of these snakes with ivermectin every day because of the mites the snakes had, and they kept those snakes and those rats for 3 months while they were waiting for the court to give them further instructions. And the court finally did, and they were able to rehome all of the reptiles. They handle about 8 to 10 animal abuse cases per year for Ward County. That's what we contracted with them for. It's not a pretty facility. We don't have a lot of money to renovate it, to do anything with it beyond what they do. But right now, they're accomplishing everything we've asked them when it concerns animal abuse cases. And they work very closely with dog control officers across your various towns who, it's a good partnership there. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
Acting County Attorney Ryan Dickey.
Yeah, so I just want to touch on a few resolutions that are before you today. First 2 resolutions, 159, 160, those are proposed policies drafted by the Risk and Safety Committee. Resolution 159 is the First Amendment audit protocol policy, which is a new policy that outlines employee procedures for handling difficult situations with a First Amendment audit so that we remain compliant with federal and New York State law, and it serves to protect confidential information that may be exposed during an audit. Second, resolution 160 updates our current FMLA policy. So I would like to recognize the Risk and Safety Committee, and in particular, Jackie Figueroa, Neil Baker, and Marilyn Rivers for their time, hard work, and effort on drafting these 2 policies. Resolution 161 requests excess general liability insurance funds be transferred from the various department codes into the insurance reserve. This is a very positive thing. These excess funds are savings, property and casualty renewal budget cycle. So the original proposed budget was for an 18% increase. However, due to the hard work of the Risk and Safety Committee, it came in at only a 5.4% increase, which left the savings about $8,000. So this transfer is being done in accordance with the New York State Comptroller standards. The purpose of establishing a solid insurance reserve to fund claims, with insurance deductibles. There are 2 more, both are floor resolutions. So floor resolution 2 requests authorization to reappropriate funds from the sex abuse lawsuit fund balance to the social services budget to cover the cost of settlement in the Michael Easterbrook's lawsuit, which is one of the 3 Child Victim Act cases filed against the county. So to give a brief overview, this case was filed against the county in August 2021. In September of 2021, our office filed a pre-answer motion to dismiss, which was denied by the trial court. The matter was appealed to the appellate division and overturned the trial court's decision. It limited our liability as a county to the plaintiff. In November of 2025, a settlement was reached where the county would pay a sum of $15,000. The board authorized at that time the appropriation of these funds from the sexual abuse fund balance. Since they were not expended by January 1st due to plaintiff dying, there was some surrogate court issues at that point with plaintiff's counsel having authorization to settle the case. They were placed back into the sexual abuse fund balance. On April 7th, the court directed the settlement to be completed in May. So we're asking to reallocate those funds so that we may participate in settlement. And lastly, for resolution 4, it's requesting an agreement to engage outside counsel to provide legal services related to the Sagamore retaining wall project. So prior to Larry Ellman's departure, we recommend that outside counsel be retained on this matter as it pertains to not only contractor non-performance, but issues with the performance bond and property access rights as well. So this resolution is coming before this board today to attempt to expedite the process so that construction is completed prior to the start of the season. So that's all I have.
Okay. Reading communications.
Okay, the county auditors report of real property tax corrections for March 2026. Commissioner of Jurors annual report over 2025. Letter from the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation and Historic Preservation advising Wilkin Point to the town of Fulton was listed on the National Register of Work and Places effective March 6th. And we received a card from the Family Service Association of Glens Falls, thanking the Board of Supervisors for SNAP relief funding made available to local pantries through the Regional Bank of Northeastern.
Okay, reading of resolutions.
Proclamations number 18 through 23, resolution numbers 130 through 168, floor resolution numbers 1 through 6 were distributed to the members of the Warren County Board of Supervisors and posted to the Warren County website on April 13th. The proclamations before you are number 18, Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, 19, Crime Victims' Rights Week, 20, Donate Life Month, 21, Sexual Assault Awareness Month, 22, Law Day, 23, Mental Health Awareness Month. Then a motion is needed to bring floor resolution number 1 to the floor.
Motion by Supervisor Rudd. We have second. Bring forward. Second by Supervisor Turner. Bring for resolution number 1. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 1 will now be resolution 169. Motion to bring floor resolution number 2.
Motion by Supervisor Onion, second by Supervisor Keith O'Neill. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 2 will now be resolution number 170. Motion to bring floor resolution number 3 to the floor.
Motion by Supervisor Payton. Second by Supervisor Onion. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 3 will now be resolution 171. Motion to bring floor resolution number 4 to the floor.
Motion by Supervisor Onion, second by Supervisor Gilligan. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 4 will now be resolution number 172. Motion to bring floor resolution number 5.
Supervisor O'Neill, second by Supervisor Onion. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 5 will now be resolution number 173. Motion to bring floor resolution number 6 to the floor.
Motion by Supervisor Turner, second by Supervisor Onion. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 6 will now be resolution 174. Also note floor resolution number 2, now resolution 170, and floor resolution number 6, now resolution 174 will both be roll call votes.
Any other request for roll call votes? Any request for recusals? One.
Resolution 165, please.
I've already a roll call vote.
I'm sorry, I thought you said recusal.
Are you refusing from one? I thought I had a note that was refusing 141. That was the contract, authorizing agreement with the Adirondack Civic Center Coalition.
I guess I got that mixed up. Just double check.
So the 141 is authorizing the contract and 165
That is authorizing the appropriation of the reserve.
Should I probably do both? There.
I think if you were gonna recuse on one, you want to recuse. on
Yeah,
both.
so, both, please, I'm sorry, thank you. Clarification.
Okay, any discussion on resolutions? Supervisor Brady.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution 151, the support services, the county administrator, we're replacing two local laws and adding a new one. So I'd like to know why do we need to replace two older local laws? What are the new additions or deletions?
I might be able to speak to that.
Okay, thank you.
Local Law 3 of 2010 established the position of the county administrator. In that, it listed qualifications, duties, and functions of the position of the county administrator. Local Law 2 of 2017 amended that original local law. Amended that original local law by removing several of those qualifications, duties, and functions, and creating a more broader, ambiguous position. It's our recommendation that we transition more towards the Local Law 3 of 2010, which lists delineated specific duties, functions, and powers of the county administrator. So it's our recommendation, and I believe Larry Elman spoke about it as well, that we amend Local Law 2 of 2017 to realign ourselves with the original local law of 2010.
Thank you. So we're not adding any additional power. We're just going back to 2010, basically.
There are minor clarifications, but for the most part, the majority of the functions are realigning with that original 2010 local law.
Because while I understand the importance of the county administrator, I really do, it is an appointed position. It's not an elected position. And I always have a little bit of an angst on giving so much power to an appointed position and not one that's not responsible directly to the people who elect them. So that's why I have concerns all the time. And I would, nothing personal against Mr. Taflin, it's just that position in per se. So you're saying we're rolling back to 2010, basically, what we had in that local law.
That is
without any additional powers.
It aligns more with New York state law. It does provide protections to the county as well, and having delineated powers, duties, and functions of the position. Correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And I do have another resolution too, if I may. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 157, which is amending the table of organization, Warren County salary and compensation plan for 2026. We're deleting a couple of one position. We're increasing a salary within the county attorney's office. So my question was, and is, looking at the supporting documentation, we're going to increase the base annual salary of the property and county risk manager 14.4%. Now, why would we be doing that during the year? Can somebody give me some input on that?
Yes, I believe it was an error at the time, but I'll.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That was kind of an error. It was primarily on my part at budget time. The person we're talking about works 30 hours a week, and I calculated incorrectly the request that came from the county attorney at the time, and I calculated it based on an already calculated 30-hour a week salary, and when you apply that at a 40-hour a week salary, it reduced the salary even further to almost just about what the person was making previously. So just trying to correct that error, that's all.
And trying to figure out what you just said. So we knew we were going to pay $58,381. Did Larry Elman in his budget say he was proposing $66,806?
No. in his request, he requested a salary of $90,000. And that would be prorated down to 30 hours a week, and that's the amount that you see on this. So what happened when I entered it on my spreadsheet as we were going through the salary issue, I took the already prorated salary down, I believe, and entered that in the spreadsheet, and it caused it to prorate down to 30 hours because whenever I put a salary in, it's at 40 hours. So
Is there any way, I'll ask this to the budget officer, can we wait till the budget round to make that increase, or are you recommending that we do the increase right now?
Thank you, Mr.
there
Chairman.
are no, the funds are available in the county attorney's budget, so that we're not asking for additional funds for this.
I'd reiterate that. I mean, it was planned to be at what it's now prepares to be at, and it was a clerical error. And in fairness to the employee, I supported it. It was unanimously supported. It's budgeted for this year, and I saw it as a clerical error.
All right, so it was budgeted already in this current budget, so it's not additional dollars. Okay, I can live with that.
Any other discussion on resolution? Seeing none, let's vote on this. We'll vote on resolution.
Resolution 130, making supplemental appropriations. Mr. Goodspeed,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Straugh,
Yeah.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Etu,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty,
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon,
Yes.
Mr. Connolly,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan,
Yes.
Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Butler,
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 945 votes in favor. Resolution 131, amending Warren County budget for 2026 for various departments within Warren County. Mr. Goodspeed,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Straugh,
Yeah.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Etu,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty.
Could I ask a question, Mr. Chairman, on this? We're amending the budget 2026 for these different departments in different areas. So they were not, these are our additional dollars they're putting now coming out of the general fund.
Some are, no, these are, some are grants that we received, some is grant funding, I believe. I thought some were grant.
There is grant funding here. So anytime we take money from the general fund, it's on a separate resolution.
Yeah.
These budget amendments are all new money coming in.
So these are all already funded through grant money.
Well,
Not everyone is grant, well, the majority are grants. Like if you look for Department of Emergency Services, that's all new grant money coming in. The sheriff's office is adjusting for an amount, for their SRO contract with the town, with, Queensberry. And then Parks and Rec, they have more money coming in from a donation. They're just putting it in the money's coming in as a $500 donation. They're putting it in their advertising fees. So this is mostly new money that's coming in. If we were taking money from the general fund to these, it would be a separate resolution, and it would say it was appropriating from the general fund. It's very clear where that money's coming.
So we have the funding from mostly the grants, okay?
mostly grants, insurance recoveries, and payments,
Okay, I can look at that.
contracts with, school districts.
My vote's yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon,
Yes.
Mr. Connolly,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan,
Yes.
Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Butler,
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 945 votes in favor. Resolution 141, authorizing agreement with the Adirondack Civic Center Coalition for Tourism Promotion and Tourism Convention Development Services. I'm noting that Mr. Driscoll is leaving the room as he intends to recuse. Mr. Goodspeed,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yeah.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Etu,
No.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty.
Is this for the funding of the contract for the refrigeration? Yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon.
Yes.
Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Butler,
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 811 votes in favor. Resolution 157, amending table of organization and Warren County salary and compensation plan for 2026 to create the positions within the planning and community development department and increase salary in the county attorney's office. Mr. Goodspeed,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Straugh,
Yeah.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Etu,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty,
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon,
Yes.
Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Butler,
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 945 votes in favor. Resolution 161, authorizing the reappropriation of excess general liability insurance funding from various department codes and amending the Warren County budget for 2026. Mr. Goodspeed,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Straugh,
Yeah.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Etu,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty,
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon,
Yes.
Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Butler,
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 945 votes in favor. Resolution 162, increasing capital project number H 376 Hudson Street over Mill Creek Bridge replacement. Mr. Goodspeed,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Straugh,
Yeah.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Etu,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty,
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon.
Yes.
Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Butler,
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 945 votes in favor. Resolution 163, increase in capital project number H 428 Bay Road over unnamed water course south of Lockhart Mountain. Mr. Goodspeed,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Straugh,
Yes.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Etu,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty,
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon,
Yes.
Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Butler,
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 945 votes in favor. Resolution 164, increasing capital project number H 448 Dix Avenue reconstruction. Mr. Goodspeed,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Straugh,
Yes.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Etu,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty,
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon,
Yes.
Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Butler,
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 945 votes in favor. Resolution 165, authorizing appropriation of funds from the occupancy tax reserve for the tourism budget to cover the cost of funding to assist in the design phase to replace the Ice Pro chiller plant and machine room of the Harding Mazzati Arena. And for the record, Mr. Driscoll has recused and left the room. Mr. Goodspeed,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Etu,
No.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty,
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon.
Yes.
Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Butler,
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 811 votes in favor. Resolution 166, authorizing appropriation of funds from deferred revenue Gaslight Village Park. Mr. Goodspeed,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito,
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Mr. Etu,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Beatty,
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Ms. Ryan. Yes. Mr. Conover, Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Butler,
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 945 votes in favor. And this is for it's number 170, which was for resolution number 2, authorizing reappropriation of funds from the assigned sexual abuse lawsuits fund balance to the Department of Social Services budget. Mr. Goodspeed,
Yes.
Mr. Crusito.
Yes.
Mr. Straugh.
Yes.
Mr. Wild.
Yes.
Mr. Etu.
Yes.
Mr. Strainer.
Yes.
Mr. Beatty.
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill.
Yes.
Ms. Runyon.
Yes.
Mr. Conover.
Yes.
Mr. Mayday.
Yes.
Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Butler.
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 945 votes in favor. Resolution 174, making supplemental appropriation. Mr. Goodspeed.
Yes.
Mr. Crusito.
Yes.
Mr. Straugh.
Yes.
Mr. Wild.
Yes.
Mr. Etu.
Yes.
Mr. Strainer.
Yes.
Mr. Beatty.
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill.
Yes.
Ms. Runyon. Yes. Mr. Conover.
Yes.
Mr. Mayday.
Yes.
Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Butler.
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 945 votes in favor.
All those in favor of the remaining resolution, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Anyone else who would like to, address the board?
For public comment, yes? Thank you.
3 minutes.
Linda Clark again. I live in Warren County. I just want to thank you, Mr. Taflon, for your SPCA report and update today on their services. I am only sorry that the people that filled this room did not hear it. I am hearing that you say that you are very satisfied with the services provided by the SPCA, but I'm also hearing lots of complaints, and you have a public outcry. How can you account for these issues? I think this warrants a committee investigation into the public concern. There's a lot of money being spent here and by the town and the county, and the public deserves to know what services are being met. Thank you.
Anyone else? Comment? Supervisor Wild.
Thank you for this team supervisor, a couple of seats down, but he talks about sports and our children. I want to add a little more information in regards to the city Adirondack and their elimination of the hospitality degree. It's true, it's happening. A number of reasons. One is that there's only 9 or 10 registered students. Very big for full degree program. Those 3 courses, and actually the degree program has a metric from New York State, and it says that if someone's taking and getting a degree in hospitality, their wages have to be 30% higher than other employees that don't have degrees. And it's been proven, at least that's what I was told, that they're not meeting that threshold. And for not meeting that threshold, they have a problem with funding for the state for the program. So 3 classes that I mentioned are going to remain. Students won't be able to tie this in part of a business program. But at the same time, there's little concern for the tourism industry. And one of the things I hope to take care of in the very near future is to sit down with some of the leaders and understand what else we might be able to do, whether it's a certification program or the like, but try to make sure that we have the needs of 1/3 of our economy are being addressed by college as best it can. So just a little update on where we're going to go.
Anybody else wish to address the board? We'll go right around and we'll start with Supervisor Rucker. Go right down.
My comment has to do with the shelter situation as well. One thing I'm aware of is all of our municipalities are required to have animal control and they're required to have shelter. Now, other than Queensbury and Glens Falls, I'm sure every other town has contract with the shelter. When an animal is picked up, even if it's left vacant in the home and or whatever, neighbor complains, our animal control officer goes out. And if that animal is deemed to need to be taken, he will remove it and bring it to the animal shelter we contract with already. We did have a case 2 weeks ago where an animal was running loose. The sheriff picked it up. It was brought to the SPCA. Our animal control officer said, no, our animals do not stay there. And the sheriff had to go pick it up and bring it to the shelter we contract with. So it seems to me that Glens Falls and Queensbury are the two towns that do contract with the SPCA. None of other towns do. We all have separate shelters. So municipal shelter, if those two towns have the problem, maybe they ought to get together and create their own municipal shelter. The second thing is, I don't know if a municipal shelter would only do cats and dogs, whereas the SPCA handles all animals, horses, snakes, rats. I'm not sure if a municipal shelter would be able to handle 100 and some snakes. The SPCA can do that. So while I'm in favor of municipal shelters and I wish I had one in my town, I'm not sure that all towns should contribute to that if we already have shelter. And they do not, like, you know, when their 5 days are up, they're not put down. Our shelter is a shelter that does not ever kill the animals. They hold it until it's adopted.
Right down, I don't think you're waiting.
Yes, so he's right after me. So not to steal his thunder, of course, you know,
How'd you know I was gonna speak about thunder?
the thunder. You can, Brittany Duffy, and I know the Duffys fairly well. She's a junior, I believe, at West Point. She comes from Dr. Duffy and his wife. They're West Point grads, family of 9 kids. Anyway, they had the women's lacrosse draft 2 days ago. She was drafted 3rd person to be drafted, 3rd pick. To be drafted into the women's professional lacrosse league. Now, she's not going to be leaving school for that, but I think that's quite the honor. And Dr. Duffy happened to be my podiatrist, so I had to give him a shout out for that. So, Dave, I leave it to you now.
Is he been reading your notes?
No, I wasn't, I didn't want to upset.
I don't want to read Dave's notes,
I
trust
didn't want to Supervisor Wild, there was some sports for me to speak about because it's mid-season. But it's Bridget Duffy and she was number 3 and that's amazing.
Yes, sure. Thanks for confirming.
Well, helping you out, you know. I wanted to bring up some facts about the Civic Center. I know that we all took it kind of hard to vote for doing the resolutions we did, but I want to give you some figures that make this quite a unique spot and make it a great thing for our community. This year with the 50-50 and the Chuckapuck, nonprofits use this to get money for themselves, so they keep their organizations going. And this year alone, they raised $190,000 for these nonprofits. That's phenomenal. Also, they had the cancer fundraiser, which was Paint the Ice. This year, the cancer fundraiser, because of this Civic Center, raised $60,000, which is huge. That was very nice. And I don't know if any of you painted the ice like I did. It takes a long time to get on there, but, and the other thing too, is they've partnered with Price Chopper Supermarkets, and Price Chopper Supermarkets, for every 32 shots on goal that the Thunder have, Price Chopper donates 1,000 meals to local food pantries in our area. This year alone, it was 10,000. So that's quite a big thing, and I know it's difficult to take the money from occupancy tax, but it's a line thing with me. It's right on the line, and I can go this way because of what it does for our community and the fact that it's brick and mortar and it's not going anywhere. My next thing was we've been thinking about gaining more revenue, and I've asked by the chairman to look at different properties that the county owns. And I zoned in on the old social services building across the street up next to the old Westmount. It's about a 20-acre parcel. It's worth a few $100,000. I'm trying to get some feedback from people because it's rare that we have every supervisor here. So I'm looking to see if there would be support of doing a 55 or older community up there, finding a contractor that would build it. And I've talked to Jim Siplon. There's some money available from the LDC that the contractor could possibly get to put in a project like this. It's a big undertaking because there's infrastructure that you have to do and all this, but it would give us a good chunk of money towards our budget. with land that we aren't gonna do anything with. But the good part of it is, it would also be housing, and these people would always be paying taxes. So instead of losing out, we actually gain money by selling the land, and we'll gain property tax money by the people that purchase these houses. And I say 55 or older, single family, only because those are the people that are gonna move out of a big house and move into a smaller one. So that's also gonna generate more, single family housing for families. I've heard a lot of people say nobody's buying houses. Well, I got news for you. I sell them every day. The houses on this market last maybe 5 or 6 days. So our market's strong, but it's very weak in the amount of inventory we have. So I put this out here to see if anyone has some, ideas, some thoughts. I don't have it down pat on what we can do. And, again, if you do a 55 or older, you probably have to do an association. So I don't know from you, Brian, if there's a way we could do this in the sales contract, but that's it for me. Trying to get your revenue up.
Supervisor.
Let's cut spending.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do have a proposed resolution for next week where we're forming a group that you and I are both part of to analyze such a thing, and I'm excited for that. With regard to the Civic Center, it's a massive economic engine. I'm very supportive of them continuing. There's just no nexus between increasing visitation and paying for half of an engineering study. I'd be fine with the county paying for it, just not from our tax. It can come from our county road fund. They're just as much of a nexus. I just want to reiterate what Supervisor Beatty said, the CDTA and the county administrator. Yes, the ridership. My number one takeaway from that meeting was the ridership is not even close. 15 rides per hour is the target. The highest was 11.1, 10 different routes, all the way down to 3.7, averaged over the year, 3.7 riders per hour per route. So we didn't hit the target on one of our routes, not even close. So it's a concern that we need to keep looking into. Thank you.
Anybody else want to speak? Going around?
Well, Mr. Chairman, just in regards to the CDTA thing, when I was at a workforce development board, they spoke that they were mentioning using much smaller buses. And I'm wondering if we might be able to get them to come up to the Economic Growth and Development Committee this week. It would be great to have them come up and give us some hints.
I think Supervisor Beatty has some ideas too on that. And if you could just memorialize that to the committee so we can see what you're talking about.
Next week's meeting or now?
Whenever you can.
But
get it
yeah,
to
I
us.
mean, I talked to Mike, he's the head guy of the CDTA that night. I stuck around for the whole meeting and I said, well, from an environmental standpoint, you got 48 seat buses. I've ridden on the buses by myself, nobody's there. I said, why don't you go to a van type of situation? I said, and even make it with today's apps and so forth, you could even make it on a on-demand type of thing. He said, Mr. Beatty, that's called our Flex program, and we're going to implement that in Saratoga. Now, will that help with the cost? Yeah, a little bit, a little less gas, blah, blah, blah. It helps with the environment. We go from those big buses down to the vans, okay? But there's other ideas that I had that I think had some credence. So at the committee meeting, I'd be glad to go into detail at that.
Any other supervisors? Supervisor Scow.
Oh, thank you. All right, well, towns are responsible for dog control. That's it. We're responsible for dog. So we have to secure the services that will do dog control in your towns. We've secured those services with Kathy Cloutier and SPCA of state. And believe me, our dog control challenges are numerous and significant. And SPCA does a great job at handling dog control in the town. Just to give the information. And lastly, just have a comment on Mike's very nice looking sport coat.
Was it a 2-for-1? It was a BOGO. It was a BOGO deal. Yep.
Thank you. Supervisor Casino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to also comment on SUNY Adirondacks' decision to eliminate the hospitality program, and appreciate Supervisor Wild's comments. I sit on that committee. I would have hoped that before they made such a decision like that, they would have brought it up to the committee and to the tourism industry. Maybe we could have talked about getting more aggressive with scholarships, throughout Lake George and some of the bigger hotels. We certainly would have been open for that. Maybe more aggressive in having a feeder program to some of the four-year institutions like Cornell that offer that also. They never presented how much it costs to run that program, and what happens if we weren't part of the 30% higher classification to get the funding. How much shy would they have been of that funding? We could have looked at that before they just said no to this whole program. And the three classes that are there, no one's gonna, I mean, they're electives now. I mean, it's the first step in saying goodbye to all of them. Most of people in business and marketing majors and finance majors probably won't take a hospitality elective, or I see one of them as hospitality accounting. It's it's the first step to say goodbye to it. But I just hope that we can continue talks with SUNY. It's such a important economic driver. I hope we can continue that, even if it's a certification program or something. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Briefly, as most of you know, I was here about 15 years ago, and I think there's 3 or 4 supervisors that I served with back then. So you guys will remember that I used to talk a little bit about an economic powerhouse up in the North Country called Four Mountain, probably to a level of annoyance a few years back. But I just wanted to share, Warm closed for the year last weekend, had an incredible, successful season. 260,000 in attendance last season. On one particular day in January, one day, there were 6,800 skiers in Fort Creek. One of the goals in my professional life has been to try and link the Four Mountain Ski Center to the North Creek Ski Moon. It's something that's been worked on for about 25 years, going all the way back to the Thomas administration. We now have a Hudson chair that is a high-speed 4-minute ride to the summit of the ski bowl. It interconnects to the main mountain, and it has forever changed the hamlet of North Creek, and I'm not exaggerating. On a typical Saturday in our ski bowl park, we would have 500 to 550 parked cars. 3 years ago, that lift operated 33 days. 2 years ago, it operated 47 days. This year, it operated 105 days. People are now coming to the ski bowl in North Creek to ski at the ski bowl, but also to use the Hudson lift to access Big Gore, and the interconnect has been completed. It's paying significant dividends. At the base of the ski bowl, and I know the chairman has been in this facility, I saw him there, there's a new lodge called The Station, and a new venue, which is going to be a zip line coaster that we hope will open this summer. The purpose of the zip line coaster is to make it more of a non-seasonal destination. In one of 2 in the country, I've had the others in Colorado. Projected numbers are 40,000 visitors. It's a $45 million project with the lodge and the zip coaster. So our little hamlet and our town is changing. If you haven't had a chance to enjoy dinner at the station, it's a wonderful event. It's an open design building with windows that face the ski terrain. Lights are on at night, and now they're warm weather. Windows literally roll up like car garage doors. It's a spectacular facility, and it is certainly changing my hometown. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're on the clock.
Thank you, Chairman. A couple of announcements. Tomorrow, Glens Falls Cleanup Day, from 9 to 11, in the lot next to City Hall. The Harrison Frere Rotary 5K walk run up at SUNY Adirondack. Also, tomorrow is an open house up at SUNY Adirondack from, I think it's 9 to 12. I say that because yesterday I attended the meeting of the Lake George Regional Convention Visitors Bureau's meeting at Aviation Mall. I gave them a whole laundry list of events and activities happening in the city of Glens Falls. But I also invited individuals to take note of a letter that Gina Minster had shared with us at the committee meeting this past month, and reach out to individuals from SUNY Adirondack. If the programs aren't going to be offered this year, maybe they'll rethink, the situation and offer them next year. A respectful, casual conversation with officials goes a long way to having them hear, people's concerns and thoughts on the matter, as opposed to a committee meeting, which sometimes can get a little bit testy and things. So I encouraged the individuals there to reach out and have those conversations with the college at their earliest convenience. We've got Wingfest coming up the 25th, Saturday, the 25th of April. Following week is the very popular one is Brooks Barbecue at Eastfield. Last year they sold 1,000 tickets. So if you're a chicken lover, you've got 2 weekends when you can really have some good food. And finally, I want to thank the county for including all fire departments in the regional area for their response to Mickey Guy's situation. The Guy families have been constituents of mine for many years in the 5th Ward, city of Glens Falls. There's an event at Dan Gerard's Lawrence Street Tavern this Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. And as I understand it, all branches of Arrow Bank are accepting donations. Or you can, I think, give a donation to the Glens Falls Fire Department with the note for making. So, yeah, that concludes my announcements. Thank you very much.
Dan, is there anything left in Glens Falls to talk about?
No, I just wanted to mention, you all received notice of the Crime Victim Memorial Ceremony.
Yep.
That is Thursday, April 23rd at 2 p.m. here at the Municipal Center of the Supreme Court. And I strongly encourage everyone to attend that. It is informative, positive, and inspiring, and really helps a lot of the people that are victims of crime. This year's theme, as it states here, is Listen, Act, Advocate, which is a call to protect victims and serve communities. It's well worth your time. Thank you.
Nancy.
Thank you. I'm sorry to do this to everybody, but Ben's kind of stole my thunder.
Okay.
The Glens Falls Collaborative is sponsoring Cleanup Day tomorrow, but also Wingfest is next Saturday, the 25th, 12 to 3 o'clock. We have 6 judges that'll be judging. We'll have judges' choice, best wings. And one of those, most of them are local media personalities. The other one is our Sheriff Jim LaFar. So he gets to taste wings from about 15 different restaurants. And I also wanted to say that on Monday, the 27th, Supervisor Gilligan and I will be attending the Pride Advocacy Day at the Capitol.
Supervisor Gilligan. Supervisor Don. So nothing to add. How's your team doing? My team is struggling. Very struggling.
So it's like
I can't understand. Nothing to it. I know it was an unfortunate accident and that the city had the other. The Mickey Guy is known by everybody in this room, one way or another, about her career. We wish her all the best. Hopefully, someone has speedy recovery. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
I haven't announced.
Sure.
Soil and Waters plant and shrub sale is happening today in the barn behind the office building where they have a lot of surplus plants. They're gonna be open until 6 p.m. I already have a lot of planting to do over the weekend. Their master gardener plant sale, the orders are due by May 1st on the back of the program that you received today from Cornell. It's, requires a 50% deposit. And if you hit that, QR code on the back, you can see all the plants they have available. Did you want to speak?
Christine Norton, Warren County Treasurer. I will be brief. I am encouraged that we are getting closer to the truth regarding the circumstances around fraud from December, but we still have a ways to go. The sheriff is an expert at his criminal. You know, that's his forte. However, processes and business process flows and forensics are not his wheelhouse. For example, just one point from today, and I won't go into, there are several, I'll just give you this one. County Treasurer's Office has, for decades, done about 2,000 wire transfers and ACHs every month. So there are processes and procedures in place. They are informal, but they are documented. They are simply not a formalized policy that this board has approved. We're going to get there, and I'm looking forward to working with everybody to do just that. Excuse me. In closing, every single employee that has a direct deposit gets that direct deposit by an ACH. We do have policies and procedures. I look forward to the results of the ongoing forensic investigations as well as the controller that will be coming in June of this year. They are the forensic experts. They are the business process experts. And I think all of us working together will absolutely make sure that this never happens again. Thank you.
One announcement. The late Judge Honorable Tandy Austin had an audio research of Queensberry family information. Over the years, he built a wonderful library of genealogy related materials. Thankfully, he left his library to the historian's office, and now we have sorted it, cataloged it, and can open it to the public. We would like to invite each and every supervisor to come to a records room at the county clerk's office this Friday, today, at the end of your meeting, noon time. Well, we didn't hit that mark, for the official opening of the collection. John, Austin, son Jay will be in attendance. The purpose is for you to be aware of the huge collection of material that now is available to Warren County, thanks to the generosity of Judge Austin. So we can all go down to the record room at the county clerk's office, put after this, and we would like to give you a tour, show you all the spending money from Judge Austin. Anybody else? A motion to adjourn. Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you.